I have been married for 51 years. Got 2 sons, 42 and 40. Damn deadbeats. I'm still supporting the little boogers. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's. Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault that those 2 idiots got dumped into this world. Hell, I thought they took after their mother. Instead, they take after the plumber or the postman or the milkman, or, yeah, they were milkmen back when they came around. I mean, God only knows. It sure gets old. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were, and they ain't the same. She was bopping a couple of different guys. But if I could figure out who they were, I've been practicing law long enough that I pretty well figure I can sue their ass and get all my money back that I sunk into those 2 deadbeats. It just chaps my ass that she couldn't tell me. I'd probably forgiven her. Maybe not. You know how it is. Yeah, boys, y'all need to go get your own paternity test. You can't tell by looking who's the daddy unless you're looking down at the genetic level. I've been in court thousands of times in paternity suits, and 4 out of 5 times, guy says he ain't the daddy, he's right. And the genetic test is the only way to prove it for sure. These women are hopping everything that looks fun. You thought you liked sex. You ain't nothing. Well, I guess that pretty well completes that story. I'll go home, start drafting up some divorce papers, see if I can't get free of that crazy bitch. I mean, I stayed with her for the sake of the children and the grandchildren, now the great-grandchildren. But they ain't no kin of mine. Fuck 'em.
Wow, man. Did you hear that? One of the things that drive me crazy about this in the comments is everybody's blaming this man. They're saying that he's heartless. They're saying that he probably wasn't a good dad anyway. Man, this is nonsense, man. This does not just affect men. Every time I see this, I see women in the comments trying to act like it's not a big deal. It affects you too. You could have been a child who was lied to about their father. It's not just men who are lied to about being a father. It's children who are lied to about their fathers, meaning it affects all of us. Did you hear this man say he had grandchildren and a great grand? So he just learned that his legacy isn't his. Not just that, he's given a woman 51 years of his life, 51 years of marriage, and now he's talking about divorcing her because the children that he had from this sacred union are not his. Man, that's crazy. 42 and 40 years old, 2 sons that he's been raising, and like he said, he still contributes to. You can call it what you want. He's probably a little bit in his emotions. As far as being upset, he's not expressing any real emotion, which shows you the time frame that he came from. Men are not really allowed to show how they feel. But you notice he said, we called him the mailman back then. Then we called him the milkman back then, the postman. You go all the way back to those days, man. Paternity tests were not easy to come by. And people would just, honestly, now still people are not proactive in getting this done. But he even said she cheated on him quite a few times with a couple different guys. And it never crossed his mind, out of all the years of being in law, all the years of seeing this in court, he never thought this could be happening to him. So for all of you guys who are out here saying that this only happens to black men, you're wrong. It happens to all men, and it happens to all women. Yes, it's daughters out here who have been lied to about their fathers. And here's what's crazy. If you go back and we were to all do a paternity test, if every one of us right now in our family said, let's go get a paternity test and see who our daddies is, do you know how badly we've been deceived? Do you know how badly it would upset what we think we know about our parents, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers? It would change everything, all because people have been lied to. One of the things that he said that stuck out to me more than anything was encouraging men to go ahead and get that paternity test. He says you can't tell about looking at them. You can't. And he even says he would have forgiven her had she told him. He forgave her through the cheating. Maybe he would have. But you got to think. He's probably around, you got to give him at least 70 if he was 19 when they got married. But let's say 75, 80 years old. Let's say he does still have, working sperm. What's the odds of him meeting someone who's willing to give him a child? And especially if it be a loving union. I mean, what's the odds of him finding love, someone that young who's going to give him a child? Like, it's over. It's over. He's been stripped. He's been stripped from ever being able to have his own children. You understand? And so many people in the comments are saying, well, he did get to raise those two boys. It's like his child. It's basically his child. Well, he loved them like his own. Well, they love him like he's their father. Man, you got to stop this stuff. We got to stop making excuses for blatant deception. I keep saying, guys, this is grape. This is likened to grape with men. Putting this man in a 51-year-old long illusion. His oldest child is 42. An illusion that lasts that long. You went through all the ups and downs with your child. You done fell and scraped his knee, her knee. You done put her back together again. You done put her through school. You done seen all the ups and downs of the relationship. They've had children. Their children has had children. You think you got grandkids. You got pictures of these children everywhere in the house. And then you learn they're not yours. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, man, as soon as I saw that story, I said, man, it's mind-blowing. How often this happens and how much we look down on it. It's sad. We got to stop sweeping these things under the rug because this specific dysfunction comes through women. We try to sweep it under the rug and make excuses for it. But the fact is, whatever parent is irresponsible, whatever parent is not showing up for the child, it would affect the child the same. So let's stop making excuses, whether it's a woman or a father, a woman or a man who fails their child. The child goes hungry, regardless of who the parent is that don't feed it. You understand? So to sit here and make a bunch of excuses for one gender over another is ridiculous if we want a healthy community, if we want healthy children overall. So we got to start thinking for these children. If you guys don't care about the men, you think that you can just do whatever the man that you want to, that these things don't matter, okay, fine. Consider the child. What child deserves to come into this world being lied to? You got to think about this. We're only watching him. What about that 42 and 40-year-old son who's now going to learn that their father isn't theirs? How's that going to be handled? I'm going to try to reach out to this guy and see if I can learn more about his situation and what's going on. But guys, this does not just affect the man. I love that he mentioned grandchildren, and having children, having great grands. I love that he mentioned that because we're not thinking about how far this lie goes. You're thinking that you're just lying to the man. What about his mother, who watched him raise those children thinking it was their grandson? What about his father? What about his brothers and siblings, all of them thinking that they are connected biologically? What about his brother right now who needs a kidney? So he's already going through that. Then to learn that his children, not only can they not help his brother, but they're not even his children. All this while going through potentially this fight with his brother. Man, it's unreal, man. Y'all got to share this, man. We all got to take a proactive approach. Yes, it should be mandatory, but above all, men should be proactive. If you have a child, do the right thing for the child and get tested and make sure these children get their right fathers. Okay, family, this is not about catching her cheating or proving that she's a liar. This is about making sure every child that comes into this world get what is due to them, a mother and a father, the rightful people who created them, family. That's it. Peace.